Hi, everybody. We are going live today with Lady Dean, Mary Dean Esquire here at the wallstreetlawyer.com. And I just felt compelled to go live today with all of this death going on. I had a death in the family, and it hit yesterday that Kevin Samuels, the controversial YouTube personality, has passed away unexpectedly. So the whole world is ablaze. So come on in here, hit the share and subscribe button. Let me know where you're from. Drop your hashtag B1 so I can see you, so that I know that you're here with me. My sisters, my fellow Fly Nubian queens, come on in here, hit the share and the subscribe button, and let me know. Let me know that you're with me. Let me know that you're here. All right, now, so we can get into this because it's really juicy. I mean, the internet is ablaze because apparently Black women, not only did Kevin Samuels pass away on yesterday, but Black women are not mourning his death. Black women are not mourning his death. So that's really interesting. So hit the share and subscribe button, guys. I want you to come on in here because this is going to be more like a celebration of life, because I lost my cousin on Monday, and you know what it's like. Black folk don't hardly get together until it's a funeral or a wedding, and this time in my family it was a funeral. So I have just been all in my feelings, and I want to know that you're with me. So hit the share and subscribe button, or hit your hashtag B1 and just let me drop your B1 in the chat, because one thing we do here is we put Black people first. I want to give a shout out to Talik Hill. Yes, he is my favorite camera guy. I want to thank him for coming on in here through LinkedIn and dropping a note with me. Very happy to see you. Yes, I love you. I miss you. Can't wait to do another photo shoot, video shoot. Next time I will be in New York City. That sounds fun to me. We got Calvin Bennett in the house. Yay. Hi, Calvin Bennett. Good. Glad to see you here. Glad to see you here. Hello, drop your hashtag B1, because one thing we do on this network is we put Black people first. That's right. We put Black people first. Something that I learned from Dr. Boyce Watkins, which is a philosophy that I have adopted as my own. I appreciate that schooling. I appreciate that knowledge. And so I pay my respects to Dr. Boyce Watkins and the team over at Fly Nubian Queen. So yeah, so let's get into this. So some of the juiciness about let me see, Kevin Samuels. The internet is set ablaze because Black women are not mourning Kevin Samuels. The man is bowed, though. So I'm curious to know how many of you guys are mourning Kevin Samuels. How many of you feel like Kevin Samuels was a benefit to the Black community and the B1 movement? I watched some of his videos, and a lot of his commentary, from my perspective, can be a lot, can be a bit much. Seems like sometimes you wonder if he does love Black people or not. You wonder if he loves not Black people, but Black women. You know, a lot of people put Black women, hold us to a different standard. We don't get the same kind of compassion and love sometimes from our male counterparts. And so that's why the internet is not really mourning his death. No one is really sad to see him go. But then sometimes I watch some of his videos and he makes a lot of sense. You know, it's not, he says some things, and you wonder if, he's had some successes. He said people have gotten married. He's gotten people that have gotten together with one another. And so he posts his chest out about that. But rumor has it, you didn't hear this from me, or maybe you did. But rumor has it that he not just overdosed on cocaine, but that let me chime in this story. Let me see. Can y'all see this? Yeah, okay, we're here. Now let me add this to the stream. There it is. And so, yeah, rumor has it that let me see more details on Cameron Samuels per the Atlanta police. A woman met Samuels and spent the night with him. She ID'd him as Kevin Samuels. Samuels complained of chest pain, fell on top of her, and she called 911. Officials performed CPR and he was unresponsive. Okay, so this is some Twitter. This is on Twitter. And so reading the comments, Lord, the second point, a real life color purple moment. I was looking for the how he died on top of me comment, not that he died getting booty. So apparently he was having his a fling with the female, and having a fling with the female and resulted in his death. So one of the things, in taking advice from people, one note that I want to emphasize is that we want to take advice from experts, people that have studied to, degreed experts. I am a lawyer. I went to law school. I got a Juris Doctorate degree to become an attorney. I had to get a license to practice law in the states of Texas and New York. I had to pass the bar exam, which was a very intense test that I studied for 2 months straight, 3 years of schooling, 2 months of hard 15-hour a day studying before I took that exam to be able to say I'm a licensed attorney. And so I earned that right. And so one of the things we want to do when we take advice from experts, we take advice from people who are either have proven themselves an expert by their bank account, right? Let's say that, I won't say that all you have to have a degree hanging on the wall to be an expert. Some people are experts in life. And if an entrepreneurship does not require a degree. So there are many experts out there in the world who are experts that just had, okay, so Kevin Bennett says he had credits. He considered himself a relationship expert. That was his credit. He was made popular by giving advice on relationships and dating, and telling Black women who to date. And he passed away from a cocaine overdose getting booty. He was not a married man. He did not have a wife and children at home. He didn't have a wife at home. So he was an expert at what? He had credits from doing what? Putting on a suit, putting some cocaine up his nose and telling people who and what and how to live. I don't know if that makes him a relationship advice expert. Maybe an image. He was an image consultant, and that's what he looked good. I'm not a hater at all. He looked nice in his suits, and I will say the fact that he was found unresponsive with another woman, maybe that puts to rest all of those gay rumors that he had circulating on the internet. It wasn't a boy; it was a girl, right? Um, so I mean, it's interesting, and who am I to judge? But I will say this: when you are taking you are the judge when you are taking advice from someone, whether or not that is someone's advice that you want to take. And look, even people who live under a bridge, have powerful words to say at times. So I guess you can't discount it on that. But to think, this young brother he's 56 years old. That's a very young age to pass away. So there you have it. Let's see. What does someone say? Kevin Bennett, he is obviously Kevin Sam. We're not biased over here. He says the truth hurts, and there was a method in his madness. I don't think method in his madness. I think the issue that a lot of people have with him was the lack of compassion for Black people, and it's not always in the vilification of the Black female, and not just any Black female that he turned his nose up at the modern day Black female. And he just had so many terrible things to say. No, she degreed and she too degreed and she thinks too highly of herself. And I don't know. I mean, some of that it just didn't seem that there was any compassion there. There was any, and I'm gonna tell you something else. It's like we can say what we want to say about Black people because we are Black, so we have that ability to be able to do that. But if somebody else on the outside who is not black come in and try to tell you how to run your black community, you will have a fit. They don't have the ability. So that's, I think, where honestly probably most of the disconnect between him and black women came from. It's like, you stick to the boys, and maybe why people even gave him the gay rumors. You stick to the boys, but to come over here and talk about black women like that, it didn't feel right, especially because you don't really have white men doing the same thing to white women. You do not, there's no show of a white man bashing white trashy white women. You don't have that. They either speak highly of them, they're either uplifting their sisters and their mothers, or they don't really have anything else to say about it. They are not vilifying them. And why vilify the black woman who has had to pull herself up by the bootstraps because she was able to do so? So, there you have it. And then when you think about, I mean, and the whole term of high value man, I mean, maybe the issue is where we all place our values. And maybe that's one of the things he shed light on, and that the value, yes, the value can be in monetary, you know, but it's more values than that. But then the flip side argument of that is, why is it that black women are always the women who are systematically told to accept less? There's no other women are not out there doing that. Other women are not out there dumbing themselves down and dumbing their finances down or what they want to accept in a relationship. They're not doing that. They're going for the ones with all the dough. Okay, this is true. Let me see what my buddy has to say. It's two sides. He was too raw and didn't have compassion with his delivery. And it's not what you say, it's how it's said. The other side, he spoke a lot of truth depending on perspective, facts. But as individuals, sometimes we don't know how to accept certain truths about ourselves. I will agree with that. I will agree with that. And one thing you can always appreciate in a debate and a conversation and in a way of thinking and a mentality is, you can always appreciate difference of opinions. You can always appreciate different perspectives. And right before I came on here, I was watching one of his broadcasts. And it's something about death that when people pass on to the other side, there is this sense of forgiveness and exaltation, and looking past their flaws and only able to see their beauty. And so I don't know. I mean, I was listening to his one of his videos right before I decided to go live and speak on it. And I just, you know, like I say, I thought that there was some truth that he was saying. I thought that there was some insights that could help the modern day woman, find love. And I have made those arguments before. I've seen situations. I have, a close family member who I love dearly, who was able to build, $1 million business with her husband, and they from scratch, and they were able to do that together. And I've seen it. And so I've seen both sides. I've seen both sides. But I will say, let's see who we got. To want a chance in here, be one. Some of you, and some people, and with their commentary, some of you guys out there, this is not. I'm not the one. I'm not the one that's gonna be. You're never gonna get a bashing a person on the internet from a person like me. I think I have a little bit too much class to go there. So I would appreciate if you don't do the same in your commentary, because I sure won't give you no prop here. But keep that ghetto mess over there, because we don't do that over here. Mary Dean Esquire here at the WallStreetLawyer.com. But we got to want a chance in the house, dropping her B1 and her queen for the Fly Nubian Queens. I appreciate that. And to want a chance with that real truth tag. That's right, Tawana. All people are high value. Right, right. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Oh, and here goes somebody coming. You know what? I am going to show this comment. Gregory Thomas, but black women still not getting married. Why? Young white girl I work with are married. Stop putting the brother down. If it don't fit, let it fly. Well, and I guess that's the point, Gregory Thomas, since you just had to throw your little comment in there. But black women are getting married. And I don't, I to me, from someone who was married, who had a husband who put 4 carats worth of diamonds on my finger, um, getting married is not a badge of honor. Getting married is only the beginning. To me, and someone who has done divorces my entire legal career, marriage is not the badge. The badge is the healthy relationship. The badge is a healthy partnership where two people have come together and are building each other up. That's the brag. That's when you maintain and when you've created that, then that I can give a shout out to. That I can tip my hat to and say, congrats, you've done a marvelous thing. And so that's, let's keep it there. And it takes two to make those kind of healthy relationships. If you're attractive, marriage is not a difficult thing to be able to come by. If you look good, it's just not. But it takes two to create those healthy relationships. And I think, when you talk about women being single, I think, or women holding out, that was something else he's talking about. What are you holding out on? What are you holding out? Sometimes women are adjusting themselves and getting their crown right and getting themselves together so that when they can come to the table and do those things, they can not pass on the same trauma that they came up with in their family, but that they can heal those chains and pass on life. And I think that, I never forget the time when I heard David Banner speak. And David Banner said, we need to lock ourselves in a room and we need to heal. We really need to heal. And so I think when people, instead of jumping into relationships, but you take that time to heal thyself. You want to come into relationships healed and whole. And that's it. And so I will never turn my nose up to people and their processes of what it takes for them to be able to do that. That's the bag. When you two whole people married in a healthy relationship, two whole happy people loving on one each other, building up a black community, because community as a whole starts with the the man and the woman first in your home, then in your local community, then in your community at large. And so yes, black families is the foundation of black power. There is a power in unity and a power in us coming together. And so, if there was advice that he ever gave anyone that brought out the best in their relationship, or allowed them to come together and create that kind of relationship and bond, then if it worked, the you judge a tree by its fruit. So if it worked, then I'm glad, then, and if it helps somebody, and they used to say that in my church growing up, but if it helped somebody, if it helped one person or one couple, then all I can say is, you know what, Kevin Samuels, to your life, job well done. Job well done. And then, as everybody got so much to say, whether good or bad, indifferent, whatever, the same. One thing I will say for sure about, you know, his death, or even the death of my cousin, what it made me come to terms with and made me realize, it made me think long and hard about the life that I'm choosing to live and how I'm choosing to live my life moving forward. And anytime someone dies, I think that is what comes to my mind, is how am I living? My cousin was 55, Kevin Samuels is 56, and I am 41. Not ashamed to say, proud of who I am, what I am. And um wow, and my mother passed away at 42. And so with all of these things, the question is the tombstone test. What will they say about you when you pass away? How are you choosing to live your life? What are you doing with yourself, your personal brand? Who are you affecting with who you come here to be? What did you come here to do? Did you just come here to be an armchair revolutionary? Did you just come here to talk about everybody else, lend your 2 cents of what everybody else got going on and going on about? What did you come here to do? And are you doing it? Are you living, or are you dead inside? What have you come to do? So I saw the post that I have on the comment. Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside of us while we live. What dies inside of us while we live. And so you take the time to think about how you're living your life day to day. And that's all that I can think about as I mourn these deaths, these young deaths, that YOLO, that how are you living your life like it's golden, living your each day, grateful for each day, waking up with each day with purpose in your heart. Um, and how are you living? How are you projecting yourself? Yes, the relationship advice, Kevin Samuels, die getting booty. That's what's all over Twitter. Died on cocaine getting booty, not to his wife, but to a fling. So, but there was some things, there was some nuggets he dropped. I would not say he was always bad, and he sure did look nice, look good doing it. I'll give you that, Kevin Samuel. um, and so here's to living your life like it's golden. Here's to remembering your tombstone test. I think about the tombstone test a lot when I think about my goals at least once a year. New Year's, when your birthday rolling around here, you're thinking about your goals and the trajectory of your life, what you have done, what you've come from, and then where you want to go moving forward. And all I can say is I'm going to live. I am resolved to live. And I want to inspire that within you. Live your life like every day is going to be its last day. Don't wait to get dressed up. Don't save that dress and that outfit for a special occasion, because the special occasion is the every day that you have breath. Coming to you live, Mary Dean Esquire here at thewallstreetlawyer.com. And my new business, as you can see, all the branding is blackwallstreet.com. Other side, I'm gonna get this right. Blackwallstreet.com. My book, you can definitely catch it on Amazon. and and the course. And if you want information on the course, then feel free to go to blackwallstreet.com, schedule you a 15-minute call, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.